Welcome back to another edition of You Ask, We Tell, guys.
Yeah.
Today we got about 10 more questions that you guys have been floating around on the last video.
Yep.
So we wanted to answer those for you guys right now. So I say let's get started on it.
Yeah. Our first question comes from Russell Waters 5891, and he asks, "Love the Q&A session. It's an eye-opener in some areas. My question would be, with 41 acres, do you all hunt? And if so, do you plan on building a stand, food plot, etc.? Love what you all are doing."
Well, we do plan on hunting. Gary has already started working on that. He's got the weapon that he wants to use. We do have a tree stand that Drew's Lens gave us like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
We haven't set that up yet though because we've been so busy on everything else. As for a food plot, I haven't talked to Gary to see where he would want to plant one.
Yeah.
But it is in the works. We just haven't got to that spot yet because everything's been so crazy the past 3 years with building and different things. But we are just about there because it's time to get some fun stuff going on.
Yeah, and I will say too, there are 2 game cameras out.
That's right.
That Gary's been monitoring very closely.
Yep. So he's already seen big bucks here, a bunch of does. Haven't seen any bear. Haven't caught any pigs or turkeys or nothing on it yet, but we have seen lots of deer.
Yeah, deer.
Like I was saying, and bucks. So soon.
Yep.
All right, guys. So our next question comes from CCG4387, and this subscriber asks and says, "Enjoyed this video. If you were starting from scratch today, what would you do differently? Would you have done what have you done that has been surprisingly rewarding?"
Oh, that's a very good question.
So what would you do differently?
What would I do differently?
Well, I would probably, even though I really like it, I probably would have went deeper into the woods for our house. Like to make it, because we talked about this before, like the Benji house, remember?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
The cabin in the woods surrounded by trees. I think if I could go back, but you have to know what you know now. Like,
Yeah.
right? If you can go back and know exactly what you know now,
Yeah.
I would do that. But then that would be all kinds of more problems, like power.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
Water.
Yeah, I was
Right?
thinking
So
that.
it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we've done pretty good. for the most part.
I can't really think of anything I would do differently.
What has been the most rewarding? What has been surprisingly rewarding?
surprisingly rewarding?
I think all of it.
I was gonna say, I mean, I can't really pinpoint anything that's specific that was rewarding.
Well, for me, spending more time with Roxanne and Wyatt, because I didn't get a lot of that back in Vegas.
No, I would say that, and just this whole process has been very rewarding from the start to the end, you know? Our next question comes from Chrissy Francis 8952, and they ask, we've lived out in the woods in PA most of our lives, and my biggest question for you is, are you going to put in a wood stove? And have you have all that wood and it would be free. I'm jealous about all the cedars too. They make perfect fence posts. Living out in the woods like that, you have a lot of resources.
Yes, so
Very true.
we've talked about from day one about putting in a wood stove inside the house. But when it came time to actually doing it, we talked and we're like, you know what? I'm not too comfortable as of right now putting a big hole in the roof.
Yeah.
Because we weren't, we're learning as we go. So I was like, man, if I put a big hole in the roof and it's not right, it's not measured correctly, I got a big giant hole in the roof.
Yeah.
So we decided for right now just to keep it the way it is. And plus now we have the Mr. Cools and they're very efficient. But you are correct with all this free wood.
Oh yeah, yeah. And plus, if the power does go out, a wood stove would be very handy to have if it's winter, right? To keep the house nice and warm.
Yeah. We do want one.
Yeah, it's still a thought. It's not like we're definitely not going to do that. But as of right this moment, it's really not on our priority list.
But I will tell you this, and I'm looking, and I look all the time on Marketplace and different things. If I can find an old antique wood stove, like a real one, right, from the early 1900s or before, I might be inclined to hurry up and do it a lot quicker.
Yeah.
So I don't need to run out and buy a brand new one.
Yeah,
I'd
no.
prefer an old one.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not actively looking for an old one, but if it just happened to fall in our lap. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And maybe if we do decide, we'll definitely look into it.
And the cedars are 100% great for these posts out here. That's why we've used them for our chicken coops. People around here, around our area, they use them for everything.
Oh yeah.
Fencing, for their awning posts, they use them for everything.
Yeah.
And they last forever. So great question.
Yep.
All right, guys, our next question comes from Adventures with Robin C3262. And this subscriber says and asks, love watching your videos. I have a couple of questions for you. First, is there any other animals you guys want to raise? Another is, have you thought about hunting on your land? My husband and I have discussed moving to Arkansas. I know the cold winters in Michigan are too hard on my aching joints. Keep the videos coming.
So future plans for animals. We do want to get some goats eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe this spring. I'm not not sure.
Well, we're talking with Mr. Come On.
Yeah.
He's got goats, and I asked him. It's funny because I asked him last time we were there. He says we're number 1 on the list.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get the first baby goats. So, according to him.
Yeah.
And that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Because even if he says, hey, by the way, in 3 months you're gonna have goats.
Yeah.
I guess it's time to build some goat pens, right? Kind of a thing.
Yeah, and I would like to do pigs at some point in time, just not anytime super soon. You know, maybe in like 5 years from now, I would like to do pigs at least one time.
Wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, just one time, just see what they're like and just experience that.
Well, and I know another person to ask about that. If you see this, Mr. Rusty and Rachel.
Oh, yes.
Robertson's Bellyacre.
Yeah.
So when that comes down to there, if you guys see this, Rusty and Rachel, I'm going to be picking your brains because those guys are the pros at pigs. And we've gotten meat pigs from them already once. So they raise theirs and butcher theirs. So great question. We already answered the hunting one. And for the cold winters here, you said in Michigan, I'm sure it's frozen up there.
Yeah, it's probably freezing right now.
Here, we've been here this will be our 3rd winter. The last 2, in all reality, they are not that bad.
Yeah,
They're not.
It comes and goes. Like the winter will be here, or the storm will come through. It'll be bad for a couple days, but then it goes away, and it's like it never even happened.
Yeah, and the winters here, honestly, they only last like maybe 2 months.
Yeah, the hardcore part of it.
So December's not too bad. It gets really cold in January and February, but when I say really cold, I mean, we're from the desert.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
really
I'm freezing
cold
right
is
now.
like 22.
Yeah.
Right? And then last year we got one day it was 0 degrees. It was 1 degree, I think. But then the next day it was up in like the low 30s. So
Yeah.
it'd be great here for your aching joints because it is a lot warmer here than Michigan.
Our next question comes from Teresa356. Hi, Teresa.
What's up?
She said, Porch, talk to the Grady's, or Pooch, sorry. Talk to the Grady's about the skunk.
Oh, yeah.
We had a skunk spray in our basement and found how it got in, and yeah, it was bad. The pond is starting to look like I was thinking it may from the paintings I made for you all. Would be nice to see the dock soon. I'm excited to see you do a little cabin, and we love your family and can't wait to see you guys sometime. Your mom and you all are such a blessing, and I'm thankful that I have gotten to know your mom and getting to know you a little. You put 2023 in the spot. I have a question. Would you ever want to rent out one of your campers if we wanted to come visit again and not have to rent a whole B&B?
For people we know, you can just stay in the camper.
Yeah, you wouldn't
There's
have
no
to rent.
renting involved. But right this moment, we'd have to do some work on our camper.
Yeah, our camper currently is kind of out of commission right now. One, there's no bed in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'd have to do some work.
Yeah.
I'd have to patch up the window. One of the windows broke. And that's about it, though. Everything else should be okay, but we'd have to do some work on it.
Yeah, it's got some, we haven't, it is kind of being used as storage as well. We do have some like of our house stuff in there. Slowly we've been kind of getting it out of there, but.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons too you said about the cabin. Like if you guys, I've said this before, but right over here, right there.
Yep.
On the other side of the pond, hidden away, where you can't see it really from here, I want to build a small dry cabin. And when that's done, that will be able to be used for friends and family to come stay in the dry cabin. And I'll make sure it's warm and cool.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. We'll have solar on it, whatever the case may be. And that's what I want to use that for. When nobody's here, we use it. You know, hey, let's go camp at the cabin this weekend with Wyatt.
Yeah.
So, but yes, no payment involved, Teresa, if it's available.
Yeah.
All right, guys, next question comes from Living Tiny with Tiana. Hopefully I said that right. 7510. This subscriber says, love the Q&A and the pond looks amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. My question is, do you folks plan on having any more children? Not sure if you answered this before. Just curious. Keep the wonderful work up. The wonderful work. Love watching you all. Take care. Aloha. I'm assuming from Hawaii.
Okay.
So I'll let you answer that one.
Yeah. We have been asked this before, and we've addressed it, but I think it's been a little while since we brought it up. But no, we are not planning on having any more children. It was kind of a one and done thing for us. We did talk about it a few years back about having more children, but just with our life situation at the time and working and daycare, blah, 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 we just decided, you know what? I think one is plenty for us.
Yeah, and now Wyatt, he's 9. He's going to be 10 next year. I think that's a huge gap for kids to grow up with a sibling. I think that's too big for me, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
It's too many years span. And like she said, when we did discuss having kids before, we were going to have, you know, we had Wyatt, and then we talked, we're like, all right, in a year, we'll talk about it again. And then in 2 years, we'll talk about it again. And at that point, like you said, daycare, we had to have daycare. We didn't have family right around us that could watch Wyatt all the time.
Yeah.
And it was really, really, really expensive.
Yeah.
It was like $300 a week.
It was expensive.
For 3 days.
Yeah, just, you know, the stress and just, I don't know,
So we decided not to, and we talked about it. We discussed it between each other. We both agree it's not one or the other.
No.
I want you guys to know that. It's not like
no.
I decided it or she decided it. We both, as a marriage, decided, you know what, one child is fine with me. I'm completely happy. So one and done. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Next question is from Miss Kelly Moore. Oops, I forgot the question. She left a comment before. Do you think you have more ponds on the land? I love you guys so much.
I know that there is a pond. It's not our pond. There's a pond right next to Melanie and Gary's house on the other side of the woods. That's our neighbors. There's another one like this size right there.
Yeah.
As for the back 40, there could be, but I don't know for a fact.
The little bit we have like drove up and behind us, because our property goes this way,
Yeah,
back
that way.
more.
Way back towards the mountain you guys always see in the background of our stuff.
Yeah, so we've drove back there, not like all the way around the property, but we have drove up in there, and I haven't seen any ponds, but there's tons of creeks back here.
Yeah.
Like there's 3 that pour right into our pond right here. 3 that connect.
3 of them.
That connect into our pond, so they're all up in there. So.
And I've flown the drone. I've flown all around. You're not super crazy, but and looked and seen, and with a pond, you would see a big opening.
Yeah.
You know, in the tree line. So I haven't seen any. I heard there's a waterfall up there from our neighbor that's been here his whole life. But mysteriously, like I said before, all the locals seem to forget where all the cool stuff's at.
Right.
So, and I think they're just hiding it from us until we become true locals for them too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're like, we ain't gonna tell these Yanks anything yet.
Yeah, these city slickers.
Yeah, these Northerners, right? 'Cause we're in the South now, right?
Right.
You guys get what I'm saying. Well, I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Well, see if we can find some more. And I don't think there is though.
I don't think there is either.
All right, so our next question comes from one of our subscribers that always watches us and is on the lives all the time. So
Yes.
thanks for asking a question. And this question comes from Fallen Arkansas Veteran.
Oh, hey.
What's going on, dude? He asked, I have a question. Since you have the shed to house almost done, do you wish you had picked a different spot where it sits, or are you satisfied where it is now?
It's a good question. I'm satisfied where it's at. I love, for me, when I'm in the kitchen and looking out and seeing the mountain right there, and I mean, I like the way in the position of our house.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of people say, I don't understand, you guys have so much property. Why on earth did you guys build your houses so close together? Talking about Melanie and Gary and us,
Yeah.
right? And where they're positioned. Well, there's lots of reasons for that too. And that falls in line, do we like where our house is at? When us four, me, Melanie, Gary, Roxanne, when we talked about doing all this, we wanted our houses to be close for the kids, so it's not like a big giant trek through the woods to get for the kids to play.
Yeah.
Plus, on top of that, when we had to clear land and stuff, it really cuts down the cost.
Yeah.
Okay, so everything we've done up here, and you guys that have been around for a long time following all of our adventures on both channels,
Yeah.
you guys know when we moved out here, it was like this. It was wooded. We had to put the road in. We had to get the land cleared. We had to do everything, and everything was split right down the middle.
Yeah.
On the property stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Just property expenses.
I mean, I'll tell you guys this right now, and you guys know we're very transparent. To get the road from the main road up here around the loop, to get it cleared, put the culvert in down by the pond, or the creek, the front creek, just that.
And the little culvert
And
too.
the small culvert,
Yeah.
just that was $14,000.
Yeah.
So imagine having to pay that by yourself.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why we wanted to keep close, because we're family.
Yeah.
Kids, easy for the holidays and barbecues. It's right here, and we have all the woods, and it cut down on the cost.
And I will
that's
say,
a huge one.
Yeah, and I will say this
Expensive.
too. On camera, looks can be very, very deceiving, right?
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure sometimes you look at the camera and you think, man, they're like right in their front yard, or right on top of each other, like they're living in the city. No, there's a pretty good distance between, and I like going over there and seeing Melanie's house, see what's going on. I'm sure when they move upstairs and they can see over at our place,
Yeah.
they'll be creeping through the window,
So I think it's happy because it's nice. Melanie and Gary help us out with a lot of stuff when we ask, and we do the same. And like I said, it's not a big giant trek through the woods or have to get in the car to go do anything. Everything's right there. And we wanted to build like a family compound.
Yeah.
That was the purpose.
Yeah.
So, and I understand why some of you guys wouldn't want to be that close to, maybe your significant other or your sibling, right? Maybe your significant other either, right? You never know. But
I can speak on
but we
that.
don't mind. We wanted that. We chose that. All four of us. We decided that together, and I'm happy.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. All right, our last question of the day comes from Karen Breest 187. Hello, Roxanne and Anthony. Hey. When are you thinking of building the front porch? Love your home and Thunderdome. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We are in the planning stages of that right now. We've been talking about that for a while.
I will say,
Hopefully soon.
yeah, that's probably the next big project we're going to work on.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, I think it's a big project.
the reason why we started the pond now, if you guys are curious, instead of like in a month
Yeah.
or 2 months ago, is we discussed it once again with Melanie and Gary. And we said, hey, let's pick a time when we start doing this, because if we don't have it on the schedule books of, hey, this is what we're doing, so stop whatever else you're doing.
Yeah.
If we didn't do that, this probably still wouldn't be done. So
No, we would get caught up in other projects.
that's what I'm saying. Hey, I'm gonna go do this. They're gonna work on that, and so that's why we haven't done our front porch yet, is because this came as a scheduling thing that we wanted to get done before it got too cold.
Well, yeah, and we talked about, I think around like spring, right before summer, we all talked about how we were going to work on the pond this winter or fall, we said.
Yeah, the fall.
Yeah, and
And
then
that's what I'm saying.
yeah, so we decided.
We decided, October is a good month.
Yeah,
It's not too hot, not too cold.
the leaves are falling off.
Yeah, and I mean, so it worked out perfect, but hopefully we can start working on the front porch soon.
I really want to work on it. Like
We got a lot, I mean,
every time I walk out the front door, I think, oh man, I can't wait for the deck. So
it's a lot of work though too, guys. It's going to be pricey. A lot of research is going into it. I have been looking at a lot of things of how I want to build it, because I did make a video saying I want it to be like a room,
Yeah.
like a room, a screened in room. So I have to build it a little different. I don't know if I'm going to frame the walls on the deck, like kind of like the laundry room we did.
yeah.
I don't know yet. I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Yeah, so we still got, I guess, a little bit of little details we need to hammer out. And then I don't even really think we've kind of figured out the size of it really all the way. We haven't, hammered that detail out. So we still have things we got to work out before we can even start that.
Yeah, but everything else is busy at the same time.
Yeah, we're working on other things too, and
slowly but surely, man. The tortoise wins the race.
I was gonna just say it's all about time management.
It is.
So we're managing our time wisely, I think.
And you guys got to remember, we have one kid. Melanie and Gary got 3 kids. They go to school. We got lives. We got everything. So time management, like you're saying, is key.
Yeah.
We're trying to do that. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, good Q&A today, guys.
Yes, awesome questions today.
Yep, we really appreciate the questions you guys ask. I actually really enjoy these videos. We're only going to do them like once a week, once every 2 weeks. We haven't decided on that yet either, but mainly when there's a bunch of questions that come in that we think need to be answered, then we're going to put a video out.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions right now, comment below and ask. And
yeah, these videos is where we get the questions from.
Yeah, we'll skim through and not skim through, but look at all the
skimming through. You're looking through and reading.
Yeah, and going, oh, this is a good question, and so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take a picture of this so I remember this person asked this question.
And that's we're like, all right, look, we got these questions that need to be addressed.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But thanks for being here, guys. Hopefully we answered some of the questions you guys may have had or never even thought about, and now you know the answer to.
Yeah, maybe get to know us a little bit more too.
That's right. So leave a question, comment, concern, thumbs up, a like, a subscribe, anything you guys want to do.
Yeah.
We greatly appreciate it. So
yes.
Stay safe, stay healthy, stay motivated, guys, and we will catch you all on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.